Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays, my collection. Today, I'm finishing up my four-part series on my Fritz Lang collection. I have so many Fritz Lang movies that I just wanted to split it up into little parts so you don't, maybe it's easier to digest, so to speak. But this is part four, and this is focusing basically on the 1950s. This is a lot of movies that he made for different studios during the 1950s. And I have some really good additions from some really cool video companies here. First up, let's go with a very odd, kind of a cult classic type movie from 1952. It is The Rancho Notorious, starring Marlene Dietrich and Arthur Kennedy. It also has Mel Ferreira and Mel Ferreira. It's directed by Fritz Lang, of course. It's a big Technicolor Western from RKO, and it's kind of bizarre in a way. I mean, it's been called different stuff, but it's a strangely poetically cool cult classic type of movie where Marlene Dietrich basically runs this outlaw outpost, kind of a ranch called the Rancho Notorious, and they basically hide out there. It has all these different outlaws and stuff hanging out. Her gang basically, and it's like way off in the distance. It's kind of a secret place. If you ask about it, nobody knows what you're talking about and all this stuff. And Arthur Kennedy basically plays a. Does he play a? What is he? What does he play? He's a. Oh man, what is his name? I don't know if he's working for the government or if he's like a sheriff or something, police, U.S. Marshal, something. I don't know. He's trying to infiltrate the ranch and try to get in there so he can bust, Marlene Dietrich and her gang and everything. So he finally joins up with this gang so he can find the place and be part of it. But what he does is he ends up taking part in all the outlaw activity. Ends up, of course, falling in love with Marlene Dietrich. It's a place. It's called Chuckaluck, which was kind of different. The place she runs, Chuckaluck. I'm not kidding, guys. He ends up falling in love with her and all this. But yeah, it is very kind of bizarre. It's just kind of a bizarre, weird, different kind of Western that was, another one from around this same time. Maybe it was made a couple years later, but Johnny Guitar is way better. But it's kind of a similar thing where you got the outlaw, you got this woman presiding over this place and, stuff like that. I mean, two different films, but it kind of makes me think of Johnny Guitar because of the Technicolor and stuff. But yeah, it's an interesting movie. It's definitely a cult classic. Or, I mean, I don't know if it's a cult classic, but it's definitely a cult movie from the 1950s for sure. If you're a fan of Marlene Dietrich, watch it and stuff. Arthur Kennedy's great, as always. And very interesting movie from Fritz Lang. Now, next up is one of my favorite film noirs ever. And one of my favorite video editions, and one of my favorite Fritz Lang movies. That would be 1953's The Big Heat. Now this is a wrapped. I've never opened this copy yet, but I've seen this edition. I know somebody that's got it, and I've borrowed it before. I've watched the stuff on here. It is such a good release from Indicator. Powerhouse Indicator Company released this. This was made for Columbia Pictures in 1953. And stars Glenn Ford, Gloria Graham, Jocelyn Brando. No relation to Marlon, I don't believe. Oh no, actually, I think she's a sister of Marlon Brando, Jocelyn. Yeah, that's it. Lee Marvin has a very memorable role as one of the. I don't think he wasn't star material, but he was definitely one of his breakout performances for sure. And of course, Fritz Lang directed it, but this edition, I believe it's out of print. But if you can get a hold of a copy of it for a good price, I would say grab it because this has got it's got the original mono audio. It's got audio commentary. It's got three, four, five. I think it's got like three special supplement video appreciations. It's got an isolated score for the music soundtrack. It's got the original trailer. It's got a great big 30-page booklet, 36-page, I'm sorry. And it's got some essays and stuff. It's got a bunch of stuff on there. But yeah, this was limited to 5,000 copies. And I'm glad I got one, and it's still wrapped actually. But I'm gonna open it one day and rewatch it all. I have a DVD copy floating around here that was kind of my thing, but it would actually come on TV a lot, and I would DVR it and just watch it off TV a lot also. But I really love The Big Heat. It's such a great crime film noir movie. Glenn Ford is your all-American, good husband, good father. He's a good, hard-nosed, by-the-book cop, you know. And then one day, this gangster, after he keeps, riding this gangster and trying to bust him and do all this stuff, that he ends up blowing his family's home up. He blows the house up trying to get him, and he actually kills his wife and son. So at that point, Glenn Ford is in revenge mode, man. He has flipped characters, and he's out to get them. He's gonna bust this gang, take them all down, to make them pay for what he did. So it is such a, like it says on the back here, it's a brass knuckle thriller. It really is. Hard cop and a soft dame. Of course, he falls in love with Gloria Graham, which was kind of a gangster moll, kind of a chick that hangs out with the gang. She ends up going good, and he starts over with her and everything. But yeah, it's got a lot more going on in it. Like I said, it's got some great background performances from Lee Marvin and Alexander Scorby. So yeah, it's a great release to get. This is an all-region disc, but this is also a dual package. It's got the DVD and the Blu-ray in it, which is really cool. Really love this edition. Really love this movie. So you got to get this movie, The Big Heat. Now next up is a movie that I'm still kind of I've watched it, and it's okay. It's okay. I just didn't like excite me a lot when I first saw it. I've only saw it once. That would be 1953's The Blue Gardenia. Now this would be a movie made for, I think it was made at Warner Brothers actually. This is a Kino, this is one of the early Kino DVD image releases. It is Kino, right? Or is this just an image? Oh no, this is just an image release. But it's pretty much like a Kino edition. But yeah, it's an early 1999 DVD, so it's one of the first DVDs that would come out. Pretty much doesn't have anything special on it. The video presentation's probably been ported over from the image Laserdisc, so it's nothing, just basic standard definition, but it's an interesting story of a woman being, let me read this. I'm trying to think of what it is. It was actually one of the first of Lang's newspaper trio noirs. He did a trio of newspaper noirs. While the City Sleeps and Beyond a Reasonable Doubt are the other two. I don't have those, unfortunately. So maybe I get those and watch this, and it'll be new to me though. But I guess I'm trying to think here. So basically, newspapers, kind of like a newspaper crime dealing with gangsters and stuff like that. I really don't remember a lot from this movie. I know I watched it once. I need to rewatch it. Maybe it was late at night, which is what happens to me a lot. I'll end up watching a movie late and be tired and like kind of in and out and kind of watching it and trying to, and fall asleep and remember parts of it. But I need to really rewatch this. I haven't seen it in a while, so I need to rewatch it. I don't want to tell you anything to mislead you. But yeah, it's like I said, it's part of that newspaper trio with those other two movies. So, but the Blue Gardenia, if you can find it, get it, because I don't believe it's available on any other companies. I'm not sure if it's been released anywhere else, but this was an old Image DVD. Next up, I got a movie called Human Desire. This is from 1954. It was made for Columbia Pictures, and Glenn Ford stars. Gloria Graham is back, and she's in this one. Broderick Crawford and Edgar Buchanan round out the cast. It's a pretty small cast. This is based on Emile Zola's, what do you call it, Human Desire. Was it Human Desire, the name of the original book? But it was originally filmed in 1938, La Bête Humaine by Jean Renoir, which translates to The Human Beast, that's an excellent movie. It's one of my favorites. That one had Jean Gabin and Simone in it, and it's really good. But this is kind of the Hollywood remake by Fritz Lang. Fritz Lang saw that movie and he really loved it, so he remade this and he kind of tweaked it out a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty close to the book, to the story. Basically, a guy falls in love with his co-worker's wife, and they try to plot killing him so they can be together and everything and stuff. So it's kind of a I guess it's a film noir. Maybe it's a drama. It's more of a drama, but it's got some film noir tendencies, especially on the train. So I'm not sure if you would call it film noir or just a good solid dark drama. But yeah, I highly recommend Human Desire. This is a Eureka Masters of Cinema edition, spine number 197. On this, it's got a pretty hefty booklet. It's got the DVD and Blu-ray in here. It's got an interview with film scholar Tony Raines, and that's about it on here. It's got the collector booklet. It's got some essays in it. But it's a great film. It looks great. It's got beautiful black and white cinematography. It looks really sharp. So yeah, highly recommend that. It's a good story. It's a good one of those classic stories. So next up, this is a Blu-ray that I got maybe a month ago or so. I got this by recommendation of damnful idealistic crusader. He got this on Laserdisc and kind of turned the wheels in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, Fritz Lang, maybe I should check that out. And he kind of recommended it just as a different story. But I'm talking about Moonfleet. Now this is the Warner Archive Blu-ray that it came out not too long ago. I don't think it's too old, maybe a year. But Moonfleet basically takes place in England during like 19th century, I guess. I would say the 19th century, maybe 18th century. But basically, it stars Stuart Granger, George Sanders, Joan Greenwood, and Vivica Linsford. And I'm trying to think, the little boy was, what's his name? John Wheatley, maybe? It was produced by John Houseman. It's got a really cool Miklos Rosa score, musical score. Of course, it's directed by Fritz Lang. Stuart Granger is really good. By this time in Hollywood, and this time he was a really big star at the time, doing a lot of action adventure type movies like King Solomon's Mines and stuff like that. And he was, one of the top actors of the day. He basically plays this gentleman bandit kind of person. He's kind of like a wealthy, well-known person in town, but at night he's got this band of crooks, and they rob the ships that come into the port of Moonfleet, and they rob these ships and stuff, and that's how he makes his money and stuff. And then his sister's little boy, is it a son? A woman drops off a little boy, let's put it that way. And it's like, is it his son? Is it his nephew? I'm trying to think if it's his sister dropped it off. It's a little fuzzy right now. But anyways, there's this little boy, and he's kind of getting into everything. He's very wanting to get into adventures. He's very curious. He's in this new place, and he's discovering all this stuff. It's kind of like the Goonies meets a something. It's kind of like, it's got a little bit of Goonies, treasure seeking and falling through holes and stuff. And I don't know, kind of reminded me of that. But it's really good. It really is. It's a big old Eastman color, Technicolor movie. It's got a really good atmosphere going on with it. It's not very long. It's only 87 minutes. But yeah, it kind of takes place. Maybe it's missing a little something in the middle. Maybe it could have went on a little longer. I'm not sure. But it's got a pretty cool ending. It's got some great set pieces. But yeah, I recommend this. Warner Archived, released this Moonfleet Blu-ray. Recommend that, guys. Check it out. Find it on Amazon. I think I got mine on eBay. Well, guys, that kind of comes to the end of my Fritz Lang video collection. I've been trying to do this video off and on for months now. So I'm gonna end this video collection with a documentary. This was released by Image Entertainment. I believe this came out. This is kind of an older DVD. When did this come out? Where doesn't it say? 1998. So yeah, it's another older Image DVD set. It's a documentary called Fritz Lang's Circle of Destiny, and it's a really fascinating documentary. It's only an hour long, but it really kind of brushes the surface of his career. It doesn't go into great detail. There's a lot of movies they leave out, but for what they show and everything, it's a really good documentary. There's not a whole lot of documentaries about Fritz Lang, except for maybe little things you see on the end of a video, supplement. But this is an actual bona fide documentary. This may have been part of a set back in the late 90s, but yeah, it's got a lot of interviews with Claude Chabrol, Alfred Abel, Kurt Semark, I always pronounce his name wrong, Cornelius Schnauber, got a lot of the German folks that he worked with and stuff. But yeah, it goes all the way from, it says here, from M to Rancho Notorious, from Metropolis to Moonfleet, the films of Fritz Lang are part of the history of cinema. So it kind of begins with spiders too, just like I did. So but yeah, it's an interesting documentary. I think you can get it for under $10 on eBay pretty easily, maybe even cheaper. I think I got this for $6. But yeah, it's kind of a nice little, maybe a nice little cap to cap off my little collection with and stuff. So, but yeah, Fritz Lang's Circle of Destiny documentary about him. And that's about it, guys. That's all my Fritz Lang I have right now up to this point. I'm trying to think if I have anything on Laserdisc. I don't believe I do. But yeah, there you go. I mean, there's so many good movies that he's made. He had a long career, celebrated career, Even if he had stopped making movies in 1933 in Germany and never made another movie again, refused to work with the Nazis, and just didn't do anything, he would still be very influential to this day. And just his amount of movies, Germany alone, are just stunning what he made. But then, he came to America, thankfully, and he started over, and he made a huge amount of more good movies and stuff. He made some real classics in there. And I'm just really glad, he came to America. He didn't go to the bad side and make films for Nazis. But he came to America and did some good movies. He's had some stories. The whole story about him being contacted by, God, what's his name? Goebbels or something? I think it was Goebbels. To be part of the Nazi party, make films for them and stuff. I'm not sure how honest it is, because it's a story he's told for years and stuff. So a lot of his life is, people are trying to analyze it and say, was this part of his life, did that really happen? He's a good teller of tales and stuff, and maybe he's a legend. That's why he's a legend. It's like the legend of Fritz Lang. So very interesting director. I thought I would spotlight him. I watched his movies for years and years and years and years. So I thought I would, I've been collecting slowly over the past 30 years. So there you go, guys. I hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the bell so you're notified when I release a new video. And just give me a comment on what you thought about Fritz Lang and any movies that stand out. Any movies that I didn't cover that I should have maybe have gotten already and watched, added to my collection. Because I am missing a lot. I'm missing a good handful of movies from the 50s alone. So maybe one day when I complete the collection, I will show you some new movies and everything. But I hope you enjoyed this whole thing. It's 4 parts. It's big. He's definitely a good, influential director, and very entertaining. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay safe out there. Watch good movies. Find you a Fritz Lang movie tonight and watch it. And I will see you next time, guys. So watch good movies.